coming this year.
This is about everything.
To the Hulu and Disney Plus bundle.
Hang on.
Epic adventures on Disney Plus.
This is just the beginning.
And stories you'll love on Hulu. Hulu and Disney Plus together, 8/3.
Spot on.
All of these and more streaming soon.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. This will be my new Loki Season 2 trailer video. They released some new footage and clarified what's going on with that Victor Timely Kang post-credit scene and how it fits into the events of Loki Season 2. It's meant to be a scene directly out of Loki Season 2. We also finally got a release date for Loki Season 2, so we have an idea when episodes are going to come. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the episodes. Of course, I'll do videos for all the episodes just like I did for Season 1. Before that happens, we'll get the Secret Invasion episodes. There was a little bit of footage for that during this trailer too. Those episodes are supposed to come sometime late April, maybe early May. But the producers for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania and the producers for Loki Season 2 revealed that the post-credit scene with Loki and Mobius watching Victor Timely Kang is actually a scene taken directly out of Loki Season 2 episodes, like it wasn't meant to be a completely separate one-off thing. The Loki Season 2 crew filmed that scene while they were in the middle of filming the rest of the Loki Season 2 episodes, because a lot of the Loki Season 2 episodes will be Mobius and Loki going around time and space looking for different variants of Kang, and this just happens to be one of them. But in the second post-credit scene, it starts in the late 1800s. It's meant to be around the same time period as Thomas Edison and Nikola Tesla arguing about DC versus AC current. But it's the Victor Timely variant of Kang giving a presentation for a small theater audience about controlling time, the same way that Thomas Edison or Nikola Tesla would talk about controlling electricity. His banner reads, Victor Timely and his astounding temporal marvel, as in Marvel Comics. The name Victor Timely is also a reference to the real-world origin of Marvel Comics. A long time ago, a young Stan Lee was hired by Martin Goodman, who owned Timely Comics, which then became Atlas Comics and then became Marvel Comics. There's been a lot of references to the real-world origin of Marvel Comics in a lot of the other Loki Season 2 scenes in different episodes as well, too. But Victor Timely was a version of Kang that decided the smartest way to get rid of the Avengers was to start in the past, and he traveled back to 1901 in Wisconsin and set up this business that he wanted to use to take over the planet. What they're doing with the character during Loki Season 2 is a bit divergent from what they did in the comics. They change a bunch of stuff because in the comics, eventually it was his son, Victor Timely Jr., then Victor Timely III in present day that wound up fighting the Avengers. During the post-credit scene in Loki Season 2, this is just meant to be a variant of Kang from a different universe, and it's just this Victor Timely version that they're going up against. They're not going to be facing like the next 10 generations of this variant of Kang. All the other different Kangs that they face during the season, and Kang will be in many different episodes as many different variants, will all be from different universes. And it seems like he's showing off a primitive time travel device using old-timey technology. And he's basically pitching the audience about controlling time, which is what all the Kang variants are doing or trying to do. He says, time is everything, it shapes our lives, but perhaps we can shape it. Then they reveal in the crowd, Loki and Mobius are there on a TBA assignment with Loki just deadly afraid of him and trying to convince Mobius what a threat Kang variants are. Like, that's him, that's the guy I've been telling you about. And Mobius not really understanding why he's so dangerous because he's from the rebooted timeline and has no memories from the events of Loki Season 1. And I think the idea here is that a version of Kang just went back into the past in the late 1800s and is trying to change history from this point in the past. And part of Loki Season 2 will be them trying to stop Kang variants and him trying to convince them about the dangers of the Kang multiverse war and what's really going on with the Council of Kangs. The next much bigger scene is in the back alley of a special theater where they've come to stop a new Nexus event involving the Zaniac character from Marvel Comics. I've already done a longer video about this because we saw a bunch of footage from this, and there's a whole bunch of Easter eggs for all the fake movies inside the Marvel Universe. But the reason why they're dressed in tuxedos that look like that, all old-timey, is because this is taking place in the 1970s London. Like, they actually go back in time to stop the Nexus event. And it's at this movie premiere at this London theater. And in the scene, you probably recognize Loki is using the same magic trick that he used in the first Avengers movie to duplicate himself with illusions. And Mobius is just making fun of him, like, isn't this a bit much? You're being a bit showy. Even though that's totally Loki's style to be super showy and over the top. Because the movie that's premiering here is the Zaniac movie, which itself is a comic book character, so it's like a reference within a reference within a reference. And if you zoom in and enhance on the movie poster credits here for all the other actors' names, the production crew members' names, the production company is listed as a Goodman Production. That's a huge Easter egg for the origin of the Marvel comic book company itself. So it's a very meta episode because Zaniac himself is sort of like a parody on comic book characters inside the MCU. And at this particular movie theater, there's a bunch of those fake in-universe MCU movies that themselves are references to other real-life Marvel movies. Like Kingo's original movie is also playing at this movie theater because this is in the 1970s. This scene of Loki with the severed head of the Timekeeper robot is with Mobius, the other TVA agents nearby, and they're just out of frame. This is one of the scenes they released in the D23 trailer but didn't allow online. In the scene, it's still early in the series when Loki's trying to re-explain everything that happened in Season 1 to Mobius, the other TVA agents, who are part of the new timeline created after He Who Remains Kang was killed by Sylvie in the timeline rebooted. None of them have memories of what happened during Season 1, except for Ravonna Renslayer. She's not here in any of this footage. She escaped during Season 1, but she will be back during Season 2. And the scene is meant to play out like a faster version of the big Timekeeper's Kang reveal during Season 1. Where Loki uses one of the quantum energy batons they use to prune things to destroy this wall mural depicting the Timekeepers holding the sacred timeline. He destroys the outer mural here to reveal another giant golden statue behind it, kind of like the statues of the Timekeepers above Ravonna Renslayer and her judge's desk, only a giant golden one revealed by him destroying this wall. And it's supposed to be the Kang the Conqueror that's meant to be ruling over this version of the TVA in the new rebooted timeline. You notice he looks a little bit different from the variant of Kang the Conqueror that we see in Ant-Man and the Wasp. Like, he doesn't have the scars, his haircut is very different, so I think it's meant to be a different Kang variant. But part of the idea during Loki Season 2 is that when Sylvie sends him back to the timeline that has rebooted the TVA, this Kang is currently winning the Kang Multiverse War, created the TVA, but he's mysteriously missing from the TVA. In the same way that during Season 1, you didn't really see He Who Remains until the end of the season, even though his presence was felt everywhere. And per that first Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania post-credit scene with the Council of Kangs meeting in the leadership there, like the Rama Tut Kang with the Scarlet Centurion version of Kang, now confirmed to be the Scarlet Centurion by the director of Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. Just a slightly different looking version of the Scarlet Centurion. In the true Immortus version, presiding over their meeting, getting ready to declare war on everybody from the different universes, the Avengers from different universes that are starting to quote-unquote touch the multiverse. So a version of the next Kang Multiverse War is playing out again while Loki Season 2 is happening in the background. And the variant of Kang that was running the TVA here is busy with that, like he's fighting the Kang Multiverse War, so he's not around for minor day-to-day stuff, leaving the TVA agents like Mobius, Hunter B-15, everyone else to figure out what they're supposed to be doing all the time. That's one of the reasons why they were yelling at the end of Season 1, like, everything's crazy, what are we supposed to be working on? He hasn't told us. Because he's not around, he's busy fighting the Kang Multiverse War. But while there's a larger mystery about the Kang Multiverse War and the Kang variances going on, the TVA agents, all these people are still doing their regular day-to-day missions. They're still going around pruning dangerous variants and Nexus events, like Mobius and the TVA are still doing what they would normally be doing every day. That's one of the reasons why they get involved in the plot of Deadpool 3, because Deadpool and Wolverine wind up running afoul of Mobius, the TVA, in Miss Minutes. I've been talking about Deadpool 3 being like them doing a version of Deadpool Kills the Fox Marvel Universe, with him messing up the Fox timeline because of all the time traveling he's doing. That's what would put him on Mobius in the TVA shit list. They're going to be shooting Deadpool 3 for most of this year, so we'll get some more footage of that pretty soon. This scene of Loki using his magic to fight people is him just fighting other TVA agents using one of those same batons, but he's also using his magic, that's why you see the green flash. As you can see, the building behind them is meant to be similar architecture from the TVA. This is just happening in one of the other new TVA buildings. Then they're in another new room, revealing that Cade Kwan from Everything Everywhere All at Once is playing a brand new character. They actually brought him on stage during the D23 presentation, like, guess who we got? They said that he's playing a TVA archivist, and the room they're in just seems like an archives room where they store really dangerous or really important items that they don't just outright destroy or send to the trash planet. And Loki makes an Everything Everywhere All at Once reference. He says, this is about everything during this scene while they cut this in the trailer. And in the last scene, he's falling between buildings inside the TVA, screaming the whole way down, like business as usual for Loki, same as it ever was. Seems like a disaster that he's totally failing at, but somehow manages to pull off a win. It also seems like Kate Dickie is actually playing a version of older Sylvie, and it'll be sort of a twist on the idea of older Loki, like classic Loki. It'll be a version of Sylvie who's remorseful about what she did at the end of Season 1, causing the next Kang Multiverse War to erupt. And she'll be using her own TVA agents to go around and try and prune all these different timelines, and will serve as one of the main antagonists of the season, aside from all the other Kang variants that they're trying to deal with on the side. Most of you will probably remember Kate Dickie as Lysa Arryn from the original Game of Thrones series. This is Loki talking to Mobius inside one of their cafeterias that's designed like a classic automat, like a classic British automat, because everything in the TVA has this very particular design style that makes it look old-timey. In the scene, he's talking to Mobius about their current predicament. It's meant to be a parallel for their scenes during season 1 in that version of the TVA's lunchroom where they work through the problem of how to find Sylvie. The next scene is of Loki in another new room in the TVA trying to explain something, being held at the mercy of some other attendant here, like some other receptionist. And it's just meant to be a funny scene of him getting exasperated with someone who's not listening to him. According to the Disney Plus schedules, they're supposed to be releasing Loki Season 2 around July, which is close to when they released Season 1 a couple years ago, so it's within expectations. They're also supposed to release the Star Wars Ahsoka episodes at the end of the summer, so that all kind of lines up. I will do a new Secret Invasion trailer video as soon as they release one, and I just started doing the Mandalorian Season 3 episode videos. You can click here for all my Mandalorian Season 3 episode videos, and click here for that other Loki Season 2 first look video with Loki and Sylvie to find out what she's doing when the season picks up. Thank you so much for watching, everyone stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.